Meg Thee Stallion, Tory Lanez. We haven't talked about this in a while because Tory's walking around. He's putting out music. I heard his new album, by the way, Alone at the Prom, fire. And
Right.
Meg's out here graduating and winning awards. So you don't even, if you didn't know, you wouldn't even know. But
Right.
it's still going on. And a cop took the stand, and apparently, when Tory Lanez was licking shots, he was like, "Dance, bitch." Now, I've seen a couple movies where I've heard that. And I I don't know. Okay. All right, hold on. I don't know. I really don't know if I believe this. 4:30 in the morning, they're coming from a party, super intoxicated. Feelings, emotions are running because they're arguing. Gun comes out. Meg is outside the SUV. Tory is standing up on the bar to be at eye level. This is not a joke. This is just how they wrote it. Pulled the gun out, licking shots at her feet. Dance, bitch. Do you see anyone saying this? Take Tory out of it. Do you see anyone saying this? Drunk, high, let's just go with alcohol and weed because that's just what we do when we party sometimes. That's fair. 4:30 in the morning. Is anyone saying this while they shoot at the floor at someone's feet?
Yeah, yeah. There's people. There's definitely people saying this. The difference between the people saying this and Daystar is the fact that the people that are willing to say this are not famous. They're saying it to people who probably nobody's ever gonna know about. They'll probably get away with it. It's maybe one of their friends. They're saying it in some kind of stupid, idiotic type of way, feeling like there's gonna be no repercussions whatsoever.
Right.
We're talking about Tory Lanez, who was at Kylie Jenner's house, and Megan Thee Stallion. This is what we're talking about. And you're telling me that he got so drunk at the peak of his career and decided to not only grab a gun and shoot at Meg Thee Stallion's feet, but then from a movie scene start saying, "Dance, bitch, dance." Listen, all of this is alleged and it's testimony. It's hard as fuck for me to believe any of this shit. It is just because of I don't know Tory Lanez personally, but I do know a few people very, very close to him. And from conversations that I've had with those people, he has fought so hard to be in the position that he is in and maintain that position, especially after going independent. A lot of people don't know some of the trials and tribulations and some of the things that he actually had to go through. Everybody knows the broad story that he gives in his interviews of him sleeping on people's couches and, putting the freestyles up on World Star and linking up with Justin Bieber early and all of that stuff. But a lot of people don't know the real behind the scenes of how the man struggled, didn't eat some days, you know what I mean? Went weeks where he wore the same outfit, the same clothes. He literally had performance outfits for himself that he would save up to buy and would only wear during that time, take it off, have a change of clothes, like the lifestyle that he had to live to get. So he understands how hard it was to get to where he is. For me to sit here and believe after hearing all of these stories that he was willing to not only throw it away, but then want to play out a movie scene in it is just very difficult. That's what I'm going to say about this.
It's also crazy because if the argument, one would have to assume that the argument started in the SUV. And if you're in an SUV, you're sitting down, you're not standing up in the SUV.
Mm.
Now, I'm not making any jokes here, but it's Meg Thee Stallion and it's Tory Lanez. I'm not suggesting that Meg is manly or anything like that, but it is Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez sitting down in an SUV. So if there is any altercation and if there's a slight indication that it might get physical, it's Meg Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez. So easily handled, easily subdued. Furthermore, I have to ask the viewing public and perhaps you this question. Initially Meg, she didn't say Tory shot her. She said she stepped on glass. And her thing was, it was, around the time of George Floyd, and she was, according to
Right.
her, she was
Trying to
worried that
protect the black man.
Tory was gonna get blammed up by the cops. And it only came out later because they found shrapnel in her foot. So you can't deny it at that point.
And she said it. And she said it.
But what I'm saying though is if there was no debris, do you think it would have went this far? Because initially she didn't want to say anything. So if there, so in other words, if she didn't have proof, the shrapnel in her foot, do you think we would even be here?
Well, I mean, I don't know how. Well, listen, they found likely cause to start a trial. So there's whatever it is that we don't know. There's enough of it for a judge to look at it and say, listen, we need to take this to trial to discuss it. So, more details are going to come out about this type of thing. Maybe it's not just the shrapnel is what I'm saying.
Right.
Maybe there's more things behind the scenes. Maybe there was testimony given. Maybe there were affidavits that were signed behind the scenes. We're finding out new information just now with this dance bitch. Don't you think that would have come out sooner if it could have?
Right at the top.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I've heard that there's the statements that the defense has made on Tory's behalf, and then there was a response from Meg Thee Stallion's assistant, who's also her former best friend or her best friend. I'm not sure what the situation is with them, but these were the two people that were apparently in the SUV with Tory Lanez. And the story that they're putting forth is that there was her assistant had an interest in Tory and found out that Meg Thee Stallion and Tory were having sexual encounters. That's how our argument started. That's what the story that they're putting forth, and somehow that turns into Tory Lanez shooting Meg Thee Stallion. So she called full cap on it, just to be completely transparent with her side. The assistant said that the whole thing that they're putting forth is, but she also said that she's going to speak soon. So I'm interested to hear what she has to say. I'm interested to hear it.
Well, lesson learned for all you celebrities out there. Stay out of the car. Travel in separate cars with your girl. Because Chris Brown, Rihanna in the car, Tory Lanez, Meg Thee Stallion in the car.
He did it. He went there.
Like just separate cars. Tupac, Suge Knight in the car.
Oh man.
Separate cars, man. Just separate cars, separate vehicles. Take an Uber. But I will say this. I hope the truth comes out. Whatever that is. I hope the truth comes out. Viewing public, what are your thoughts? Be respectful. Leave it in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that link. Do all the good stuff. Deuces.